What can make someone undertake a perilous journey and risk his life, family, and honor to become a refugee?
My life was in danger.
Freedom. To enjoy the Western life.
I had become a Christian.
Political repressions and socio-economical difficulties drive thousands of Iranians to abandon their homes in hopes of a better life. According to the Home Office, every year between 2,500 and 3,000 Iranians seek asylum in the United Kingdom, but only 10% obtain the refugee status. Almost every Iranian refugee who comes to Britain visits this place at least once. This is Iranian Community Center, one of the oldest refugee centers in United Kingdom. Back in 1983, a group of Iranian political refugees have launched this place, and it has been providing help and support for Iranian refugees ever after. I'm going to meet Mr. Ali Shirazi, the coordinator of the organization.
Every week, 20 to 50 people coming to ICC for help and advice. Those who are not getting their status or any kind of support, they are ended up, some of them are deported. According to the Home Office last year, about 149 Iranians were deported. Some are going to be ended in detention centers for a long time. Some are also just left to live in UK without any kind of support. There are many Iranian asylum seekers who are staying on the street at night.
The lucky ones are allowed to live in hostels like this while their case is being processed. Hamid is a 29-year-old social asylum seeker. He has submitted his application over a year ago but has not received a reply yet. Hamid does not have a work permit until he is acknowledged as a refugee, so he has taken jobs in the black market to survive. He recounts the death-defying journey he has taken to Britain.
The worst part is that I risked my life to get here. I came through mountains and minefields across the border. On the seaway from Turkey to Greece, we were about to drown. I hid in a cargo to go from France to the United Kingdom.
Hamid will not wait any longer. He says he's going back to Iran. Returning home is not an option for every refugee. Many of them face the threat of prosecution upon arrival. Nadia is a 31-year-old religious refugee. She has converted to Christianity over 2 years ago. She talks about the gloomy future that lays ahead of her if she goes back.
It is impossible to predict the reaction of the Iranian government. I've been told that a group of Christians have recently been arrested in Iran. They have been in prison for more than a month now, and no one knows their conditions or their fate.
The situation is not any better for the political refugees. Rod was arrested in the aftermath of June 2009 elections while distributing anti-government flyers in a demonstration. He talks about dangers of living in Iran for him.
I could have gotten arrested at any moment. This would have been the second time. If so, I would have been doomed like many other political activists. My dad helped me and paid a large sum of money to a smuggler to get me out of the country.
Smugglers usually charge 8,000 to 11,000 pounds to help refugees cross the border. For Rod, the fee also included getting his passport sorted and his name changed to guarantee him a safe journey. His case has been rejected, and his appeal was not successful. Now he has no way back and no place to stay. He blames it on Iranians who pretend to be political asylum seekers.
Had I stayed in Iran, my life would have been in danger. So many people who seek political asylum abuse this right and claim that their lives are in danger. It is true only about some of them.
Mohammad Hushi is an immigration solicitor. He has been working on immigration cases for more than 10 years. Mr. Hushi explains challenging characteristics of Iranian political asylum seekers.
I think around about 10% might be serious political cases. The vast majority of them from Iran are the cases where most of the problems rooted in a social problem. like, for example, adulteries, or basically women who ran away because they weren't forced to marry to someone else, or honor killing at some point. But vast majority of the cases are perceived political activities rather than the actual political activities. If you protest against your payment or your late payment of your salary, that being construed by Iranian government as a political protest. But in fact, you're not political.
As the pressure of the opposition movement against the government increases, the regime uses immigration as a safety valve. It encourages political activists to leave the country. Arash was a student activist and has left Iran 4 years ago when he was 19. He has served a short jail sentence and now he speaks out about the role of the Iranian regime in his refuge to the United Kingdom.
I am a political refugee, and the way I got out of the country and obtained a refuge status was due to the indirect help of the government.
Mansour Sanlu is a leading trade union activist in Iran. He is currently held in Evin prison, where he serves a 5-year sentence. His wife, Parvaneh, speaks out about how Mansour is pressured into leaving the country.
They told my husband to leave the country, so he went to London, but then he returned. I asked him not to, as I knew he was going to get arrested. He came back and he got arrested 19 days after his arrival. He is still in prison now. Recently, they told my daughter-in-law that if he was to be released, it was only on a condition that he immediately leaves the country or stop any political activity.
As the opposition activists and intelligentsia leave the country, the chance for change in Iran reduces. Saeed Kamali Dehqan is a journalist at Guardian. He is a political refugee himself and has left Iran after the crackdown on dissidents. Saeed explains how this process is affecting the structure of Iranian political and social scene.
It's a tactic for Iranian government to force intellectuals, human rights activists, journalists to leave Iran and choose to live in exile. With this strategy, Iran can manage to live isolated from the world for a certain period of time, but it doesn't manage to be isolated forever, because the next generation would come as it happened in the last 30 years in Iran. First we saw refugees from the first generation after the revolution, and now we see the second wave of the exiles in the past recent years.
The United Nations High Commissioner for the Refugees paints a dire picture for the year 2010. The number of Iranian refugees is expected to double in the next 2 years, reaching 5,550. The number of unregistered refugees is expected to reach high levels too.